Success looks different on everyone, but one thing is clear. The people who rise to the top, who break through barriers, and who live life on their own terms all have something in common. It's not just about hard work. It's not just about intelligence. It's not even about luck. The truth is, many of the most successful people you admire have strange, unexpected habits that make all the difference. Habits that seem small but are incredibly powerful when practiced over time. Most people ignore these habits. They think they don't matter, but the highly successful know better. They know success isn't built in one big moment, it's built in tiny moments, repeated daily until excellence becomes your normal. One unexpected habit of highly successful people is that they say no, a lot. They don't say no because they're rude or uninterested. They say no because they're focused. They've learned that saying yes to everything is the fastest way to lose yourself, so they protect their time like it's gold. Because it is. They know every yes is a no to something else. And they'd rather say no to distractions and yes to what matters. This habit doesn't come naturally. It's built with discipline, with clarity, and with the understanding that their future depends on the choices they make right now. Another unexpected habit is that they often wake up early, not to impress anyone, but to be alone, in silence, before the world starts pulling them in 1,000 directions. In that stillness, they plan, they reflect, they read, they breathe. They don't start their day by scrolling or reacting. They start with intention, with purpose. And that changes everything. Because how you start your day is often how you live your life. If you begin with chaos, distraction, and stress, it follows you. But if you begin with calm, clarity, and control, you stay ahead of the storm. Highly successful people also talk to themselves on purpose. They've learned the voice in their head can either be their best friend or their worst enemy. So they take control of it. They don't just listen to themselves, they speak to themselves. With encouragement, with strength, with belief. They remind themselves who they are and what they're capable of. They use affirmations, mantras, and self-coaching. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. The mind believes what it hears most, so they feed it power. Here's something else. Successful people get bored and keep going. They don't need every task to feel exciting. They've trained themselves to be consistent even when it's dull. They understand that success isn't about feeling good every moment. It's about showing up, especially when you don't want to. They treat discipline like a muscle. The more they use it, the stronger it gets. This habit is rare, because most people give up when the excitement fades. But the ones who keep going through the boredom, the repetition, the grind, those are the ones who win. They also take care of their energy like it's a resource, because it is. They protect their sleep. They pay attention to what they eat. They move their bodies. They take breaks. Not because they're lazy, but because they know burning out helps no one. They know energy is the fuel for every goal, every dream, every moment of focus. So they guard it. They recharge. They rest, not as an escape, but as preparation. So when it's time to perform, they're fully present. Another habit that might surprise you is how much they value reflection. They don't just chase the next goal. They pause. They review. They ask themselves what worked, what didn't, what they can learn. They journal. They think deeply. They don't fear failure because they know every failure carries feedback, and that feedback is gold. They use it. They don't waste pain. They grow from it. This habit of honest reflection is one of their greatest tools Because without awareness, there is no improvement. Highly successful people are also kind to themselves and others. They understand that bitterness drains energy, that resentment steals focus. So they forgive quickly. They let go of what they can't control. They practice gratitude. Even when life isn't perfect, especially when life isn't perfect, gratitude isn't just something they feel, it's something they practice daily. They write it down, they speak it out loud, they look for it in the hard moments. This changes how they see the world. It changes how they lead, how they connect, how they grow. They're not afraid to be different. They don't follow trends. They don't chase approval. They stay true to their path, even when it's unpopular. They know comparison kills creativity, so they stay focused on their own lane. They move with confidence, not arrogance, but self-trust. They don't need validation from everyone because they validate themselves. This kind of inner strength doesn't come overnight. It's built by showing up for yourself day after day, no matter what the world thinks. They make fast decisions, not careless ones, just fast ones. They don't overthink every move. They trust their preparation, their instincts, their experience. They know overthinking is just fear in disguise. So they act. They adjust as they go. They learn through movement, not just thought. Action gives them feedback, and feedback gives them growth. This habit keeps them in motion. While others are stuck planning, they're already building. They also ask better questions. When things go wrong, they don't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What now?" They don't complain. They search for solutions. They ask, "What can I control? What can I learn? How can I improve?" These questions create power. They pull you out of victim mode and into leadership. Highly successful people lead themselves. Even when everything around them is uncertain, they stay grounded in who they are and where they're going. Another unexpected habit is their focus on the long game. They're not obsessed with instant results. They think in years, not days. They know real change takes time, so they stay patient. They stay focused. They don't chase quick wins at the cost of lasting progress. They're not distracted by every new trend. They stick to the process. They invest in habits that compound. They stay consistent even when no one's watching. That's what builds legacy. They also celebrate small wins. They don't wait for huge milestones to feel proud. They recognize the tiny victories, the early wake-ups, the workouts, the focused hours, the acts of courage. This habit keeps their motivation alive because success is a journey, not a finish line. If you can't enjoy the steps, you'll never enjoy the summit. So they pause, they reflect, they appreciate. And then they keep moving. Finally, they never stop learning. They're humble enough to know they don't know everything. They read, they listen, they study, they ask questions, they seek mentors, they stay curious. This habit of lifelong learning keeps them sharp, it keeps them growing, and it reminds them that there's always another level. You don't have to copy someone else's routine to be successful, but you do need habits. Habits that align with your vision, habits that support your mission, habits that build you up when life tries to tear you down. The habits we talked about today might seem small, but practiced consistently, they change everything. Now it's your turn. Your life is shaped by what you do daily, not what you dream, not what you plan, but what you do. So choose habits that serve your future. Start today. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin. Pick one habit, one change, one shift, and do it. Then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. Let consistency be your strength. Let discipline be your guide. Success isn't just about goals, it's about who you become. And who you become is built one habit at a time. So be intentional, be consistent, be relentless. The life you want is possible, but only if you're willing to build it. And if this message moved you, share it with a friend, with a loved one, with your team. Spread the power. Because the more we lift each other, the stronger we all rise. Let's build habits that last. Let's live lives that matter. Let's become the people we were meant to be. It starts now. It starts with you.